What's going on, guys? DSCuber here, and today I'm bringing you another unboxing video. So I just recently went to the mall and I saw that there was this new store there called Flying Tiger Copenhagen, Denmark. So it's a Denmark store and they sell a whole bunch of low-cost odds and ends, and they had a whole bunch of puzzles. So I figured I'd buy one of each, considering they're literally only $1 or $2 a piece. These are the three that I picked up. I picked up a mirror blocks, this picture cube with a whole bunch of really weird cartoon faces, and this 2x2. So I've got my Maru Lube at the ready because I can almost guarantee at $2 a pop these puzzles are going to be absolute trash. But nonetheless, let's get started opening them up. Alright, so these are the three cubes, and I'm going to start off with the first turns for the Mirror Blocks cube because I do not own a Mirror Blocks cube, and I always thought it would be super cool to have one, so I'm glad they were actually selling this, but let's give this one some first turns. And it's smooth but dry, so it definitely needs a little bit of lubrication, but it's not terrible, and it actually does corner cut, so that's interesting. And let's try a T-perm. Alright, that works, and I guess you could kind of see how this is a T-perm. These two would swap, these would swap, and this stays the same. But yeah, let's just undo that, and ooh, I just had a nasty pop from that. But yeah, this cube definitely pops. That's expected though, because it's like flimsy. But actually, look at that piece. This looks like it's got like some sort of speed cube core, but I wouldn't know what it is because I don't really have a whole lot of speed cubes. So let's try cracking this thing open, see if there's any branding underneath the logo. Alright, so I just got the cap off, and I don't see any markings in here of any kind aside from this B5 stamped in the middle of it. But when I was looking at the cubies themselves, the feet kind of remind me of a V-cube, but I know that's not possible because V-cubes didn't produce the mirror blocks or bump cubes. So I have no idea what this is. It's very likely just a knockoff production that used a similar V-cube cubey style. But other than that, I'm relatively surprised with how well it turns. But I am aware that these kinds of flashing stickers are prone to scratching. You could see that it already did start to scratch, just with some gentle use. So I don't really expect these cube stickers to hold up very well, but yeah, that's the mirror blocks. And next up, we're going to take a look at this face cube, and I see some stickers already starting to peel, and it feels like a very flimsy plastic, very weak, structurally stable plastic. So doing some first turns, that actually turns a lot better than I expected too. I was honestly expecting like a dollar store quality turning, but this actually doesn't turn too terribly. So let's do a T-perm and undo that T-perm. And yeah, I'm actually surprised with how it turns. As with the mirror blocks though, it's relatively dry. And looking at these pieces, I have no idea what mechanism this is attempting to copy. Look at that, like, I have no idea what that is. But let's see if there's any markings under this cap. Nothing, as I expected. So, I again don't know, what company they use to produce these, if these are knockoffs of anything. But as far as I'm aware, they're not as bad as what I had predicted, and they were only $2. So far, I'm relatively satisfied with that. And now for the final one, the 2x2. It looks kind of like a cross between like a Diane and a Moyu, but I could almost guarantee that it isn't. And doing some first turns on this thing, holy jeez, is this thing stiff? It is in definite need of some lubrication and tension adjustment, but it's got a really interesting looking core. It kind of looks like the core has been just like sandwiched together. You can see the pieces separating here. Almost looks like two parts of like an interlocking sphere. Kind of just go like this. And the 2x2 corners kind of just sit around that sphere. I mean, overall though, the turning isn't that terrible. Alright, who am I kidding? It's actually pretty bad. Yeah, so I'm going to lubricate all of these cubes, and I'm going to see if that improves them at all. And I just scrambled this thing, so I need to solve it. And yeah, this thing is really just terribly stiff. Yeah, so let's give this a little bit of lubrication and see how they all turn out. Alright, so I'm back, and it's been about a half hour, and I lubricated and adjusted the tensions for these cubes. Well, actually, I only did it for the 2x2, because after I lubricated 3x3s, the popping issues got way more frequent, so I wasn't going to loosen the tensions and risk more pops. But despite the popping, after lubrication, all of the cubes have seen significant performance improvements, notably the 2x2. It now turns so smoothly, and I'm honestly really impressed. I didn't think that for $2 these cubes were going to amount to anything, and while they don't really perform like a regular speed cube would, like for instance a 2x2 still has almost no reverse corner cutting. It regular corner cuts at like maybe 20 degrees. It's still like not terrible, so I mean it is a speed cube, just not one that I would use. So this 2x2 improved quite a bit. This 3x3 still has some popping issues, and I know Marulube isn't going to adjust the feeling of the cube, so this still feels a little dry, but after, you know, some lubrication, it did improve the overall turning of the puzzle. Reverse corner cutting still, like I said, non-existent. Regular corner cutting, moderate. So I mean, it's not terrible, but then again, who's really going to speed solve a cube with a bunch of pictures on them? And last but not least is the mirror blocks, or the bump cube. This one turns silky smooth. You can't really reverse corner cut on a cube where the pieces aren't proportional, but it does regular corner cut fairly nicely. And I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with the mirror blocks out of all of them. And I gave each of them a few solves, and the puzzles aren't difficult, and they are pretty nice. So, you know, for $2 a piece, I spent, you know, $6 plus tax to get 3 cubes that are pretty unique. I'd say it was definitely worth the buy. So thank you guys so much for watching this unboxing video. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more cubing content. And keep on cubing, guys. See you in the next video.